Hello guys, so welcome to our channel. We're on basic. So this time we will learn on how to solve rational equations. Okay, so assuming in the board we have problem. We have the equation 2 over x minus 3 over 2x equals 1/5. Okay, so we will discuss the basic steps for us to solve this rational equation easily. Okay, so step number 1 is to identify the LCD. Looking at our equation, rational equation, so a rational equation is always fractional form. So when it comes to fraction, LCD is basic. So LCD comes from LCM or the least common multiple. Okay, so let's get 2 and 5. 2 and 5. So the least common multiple of 2 and 5 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. Then we have 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. So if we can have it, 20 is also a multiple of number 2. Okay, so if you can see, the common are 20, and then we have 10. But we will use 10 as the LCM of 2 and 5. So the LCM of 2 and 5 is 10. Okay? So 20 and other numbers are common multiples, but 10 is the least. Okay? So when your LCM is used in computing your denominator or your fraction or your rational equation, it is known as LCD because we use this LCM to simplify your denominator. That is why it's known as LCD. So the least common denominator instead of LCM. But they have the same concept, of course. Okay, so let us proceed. Let us identify the denominators first. So the denominators are x, then 2x, and 5. So our first example will be a basic example. As you can see, the variable is in the linear form. Then our constants and numerical coefficients are prime. So we have 2 and 5. Then we have the variable x. So if you don't know how to get the LCD, just write your denominators. So we have x, we have 2x, and we have 5. Okay? So let us identify the common. So the common between x and 2x is x. Okay? Then the common between x, 2x, and 5 is x. Between x and 2x. Between 2x and 5, there's no common, so we will use 2 and also 5. And as we have shown earlier, that the least common multiple of 2 and 5 is 10. So we can say that our LCD is equal to 10x. Or simply, just multiply your denominators. If your denominators are in simplest, or we can say that your denominators are in prime form or simplest form. So here, on our first example, your LCD will be equal to 10x. Okay? So the first step is to identify your LCD. Next step is multiply your LCD. So multiply LCD to your given equation. So copying your given equation, we have 2 over x minus 3 over 2x equals 1/5. Okay? Then multiply your LCD to the whole equation. So we have 10x. You can write 10x in here or in here. Okay? So just see to it that we have or you have your parentheses. It means that this one will be distributed to all the terms of your equation. So continuing, let's distribute 10x to each of your expression or each of the terms. Okay, so we have these are fractions form, so we have to multiply your 10x as a whole number, your denominator is 1, so we have to multiply 10x to the numerator of each expression or each term. So we have 2 over x times 10x. So you can see, then minus 3 over 2x. So multiply it to your numerator. Okay? Continuing your equal sign. Then 1/5. So multiply 1 times 10x. That 1. Okay? Then MDAS or PEMDAS or GEMDAS can be used to simplify this one. Okay, so we have 2 times the quantity of 10x divided by x. Okay, so I will teach you the basic steps and the fundamental. So some are doing the shortcut, just dividing first before multiplying, but let's multiply using your MDAS. So 2 times 10x is 20x over x, copying your denominator. Okay? Then we have minus, copying your minus sign here. Then 3 times 10x, so you have your 30x. Then copy your denominator 2x. Okay? Then we have 1 times 10x. So we have 10x, of course, over 5. Then simplify. So let us simplify. 20x divided by x. So the common factors are x. So x divided by x is 1. So most of us are saying cancel. So it's not. But it has benefits for shortcut. But the truth behind this is x divided by x is 1. Okay, so x divided by x is 1 times 20. So we have 20. Or in shortest way explaining, just eliminate your x. Okay? Minus, we have 30x over 2x. So x divided by x will be 1. Then 30 divided by 2 is, we have 15. Okay? Then the other side of your equal symbol, we have 10x divided by 5. So we have 10 divided by 5 is 2. Then copy x. So we have now 20 minus 15 equals to 2x. Simplify. 20 minus 15 is how much? So we have 5. Then we have 5 equals to 2x. Then solving your rational equation, the basic concept of it is we are solving for x. Okay? So we are solving for x. So we have arrived on 5 equals to 2x. When you are solving equations or solving x, it means to isolate your x on the other side of your equation. X alone. So to simplify it, so the operation between 2 and x is multiplication. Again, the operation between 2 and x is multiplication. To simplify it, we will use the inverse operation. So we will be dividing 2 on both sides. Okay? So it will become, for those who are not so we have this one. So we have 2x and 5. So divide both sides by 2 to eliminate your 2 using the division property of equality. Or we are just using the inverse operation between 2 and x, that is multiplication. So we will be using division. Or again, we are using the division property of equality. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Therefore, the remaining is x. Then, on the other side, we have 5 over 2. Okay? So we have the value of x. I will rewrite it here. So we have x is equal to 5 over 2 for our first example. Okay guys, so some of you will be confused that 5 over 2 equals to x, and then I write it as x equals to 5 over 2. So your equal symbol denotes balance and mirror between two quantities. So 5 over 2 mirrors x, also x mirrors 5 over 2. Okay? On this process, you can see that we divided 2 on both sides. So equation is a balance, or an equal symbol denotes balance. So when we divide 2 on the other side, of course, we will divide 2 on the other side for balance. Okay? So most of us will be reading it as 5 over 2 equals to x, or we can read it as x equals to 5 over 2, just like this one. But most of us, on basic forms, we can write it as this way, but this is the most basic way because we are reading from left to right. Okay? Left to right. So x equals to 5 over 2. But this form is also acceptable. Okay? So after that, what we're gonna do is to check whether your x, which is equals to 5 over 2, is the solution of your given equation. So we have arrived at the value of x. Okay? So let us do the checking. So checking, we will be using your original equation. So we have 2 over x minus 3 over 2x equals to 1/5. Okay? Then, we will just substitute the value of x for us to prove that x equals to 5 over 2 is a solution, or maybe not. So let us substitute. So we have 2. Copy your denominator x will be substituted by 5 over 2 minus, then we have 3 over 2 times x, which is again equal to 5 over 2. Then bring down equal to 1/5. Equal to 1/5. Okay. So the other side of your equation, of course, is 1/5. So we will prove that the left side or the other side of your equation should be also 1/5 for them to be equal. So let us do the reciprocal. So a whole number divided by a fraction will be equal to 2. This one, your numerator. Find the reciprocal of your divisor, which is 5/2. So it will become 2/5. And proceed to multiplication rule. Minus this one. So here we are multiplying 2 as a whole number times a fraction 5/2. So 2 times 5 is 10 divided by 2. That is 5. Or we can easily eliminate 2 and 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 5. Or 2 times 5 is 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then copy your numerator 3. Then simplify 2 times 2. So we have 4. Then denominator 5 minus 3. Denominator of 5 equals to 4/5. Then we can subtract right away because your numerator is the same, or we can say that 4/5 and 3/5 or 3/5 is or are similar fractions. So we can subtract easily. So 4 minus 3 is 1. And you will copy your denominator 5. Sorry, this is 1/5. Then the other side is 1/5. So we will ask ourselves, is 1/5 equal to 1/5? True or false? So when it's true, it is true. So therefore, x equals to 5/2 is the solution of your rational equation. Again, is 1/5 equals to 1/5? True or false? So when it is true, therefore x equals to 5/2 is the solution of your given rational equation. Okay, so I guess we are clear on that. Let us proceed to another example. Okay, so let us have another example of solving your rational equation. So we have on the board 2/x plus 1 equals to 3/x minus 3. So if we will just take a look, our last example, previous example is 2/x minus 3/2x equals to 1/5. So I guess you can see the difference between the two equations, or rational equations. So here on our example, we have one term on the left side and one term on the right side. While on our previous example, we have here 2 terms on the left side and 1 term on the right side. So I just put this one to let you remind and analyze the difference between the two given rational equation. Okay? So let us focus on here. So we have one term, one expression on the left side, and one term or expression on the right side of your equal symbol. So now let us proceed. Okay, to simplify and solve this one, again, our first step is using your LCD. So using your LCD, just identify the denominators. So the denominators are x plus 1 and x minus 3. So x plus 1 and x minus 3 don't have any common factors, so we will use both of them as your LCD. So easy. Okay, now let us proceed. So after you identify your LCD, step 2 is to multiply your LCD to your original equation. So your original equation, copying, is 2/x plus 1 equals to 3/x minus 3. Then let us multiply your LCD, which is the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 3. So that one. Okay? Are we clear on this? So this is your original function. 2 over x plus 1 equals to 3 over x minus 3 times your LCD, which are x plus 1 times x minus 3. Okay. So the most basic step is to distribute these two quantity to each of the numerator. Okay? So after we distribute it by multiplication, we will divide it to your denominator. But I will give you the easy way to multiply it directly. Okay? So we will not multiply directly. We will divide first. So this one is division. So your LCD multiplied to your numerator divided by your denominator. So we will not multiply directly, we will divide first. So LCD divided by x plus 1. So x plus 1 divided by x plus 1, or we can say this quantity divided by itself is equal to 1. So therefore, the remaining is x minus 3. Okay? So we will just multiply x minus 3 to the numerator. Or if you cannot get it, so let's multiply it one by one. So 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 times x minus 3 over your denominator x plus 1. Okay? Equals 3 times x plus 1, this one, times x minus 3 divided by your denominator x minus 3. Then, let us divide. So, the common between your numerator and denominator is x plus 1. So, x plus 1 and x plus 1, the remaining is, so let's continue. So, 2, then the quantity of x minus 3. Okay? So, we don't have any denominator left. Then, here, the common between your numerator and denominator is x minus 3 and x minus 3. So equals, the remaining is 3 times x plus 1. Okay? Are we clear on that? So that is why previously I'll be teaching you this one. So just cover x plus 1 and x plus 1 because they are common. And then we will just multiply the remaining to your numerator to the remaining LCD, which is x minus 3. So 2 times the remaining LCD, the quantity of x minus 3 in here is 1. Okay? Then the other side, the common is x minus 3. So the remaining LCD is x plus 1 times your numerator is 3. So you will get this one. But on basic and fundamental steps, we will have this one. Okay? Okay, so let us continue. So we have 2 times the quantity of x minus 3 equals to 3 times the quantity of x plus 1. So we will simplify it by distribution property of multiplication. So let us distribute 2 to the binomial inside your parentheses. So we have 2 times x minus 3. First we have 2 times x, and that is 2x. Then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, of course. Equals, then multiply 3 to the quantity of x plus 1 by distribution property again. So 3 times x is 3x. Then 3 times 1 is positive 3. Again, 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 1, 3. Okay? Simplify. Or shall we say, we will combine like terms. So we will isolate x on the other side of your equation. It will be up to you whether you will isolate it on the left side or the right side. Okay, so in my own opinion, I isolate x or transfer, or some say transpose, but transposition is not an operation in solving your equation. But it has benefits for us using the term transposition. So again, transposition is not an operation in solving your equations. We are combining like terms using subtraction property of equality as well as addition property of equality. Okay, let us start. So we will be combining your like terms. Example, we have 3x, then minus 2x. So where did we get minus 2x? So 2x in here is a positive term. Some say it is transposed on the other side, but we didn't transpose. We use your subtraction property of equality. So we have subtracted minus 2x in here. Then, of course, we will subtract minus 2x in here because again, your equal symbol denotes balance. So if you subtracted 2x, of course, you will subtract 2x on the other side. So 2x will be eliminated on this side. And of course, we have here 2x. Okay? So, very basic. I know that you have learned that on your previous years. Then we have to bring down minus 6 or negative 6. Then minus 3. Again, so copy 3x, 2x, using subtraction property of equality. So positive will become negative. Then your positive 3 will become negative 3. Bring down minus 6. Then combine like terms. So we have 3x minus 2x. So you have 3x minus 2x. So you have 1x, or understood that we will write it as x. Then negative 6 minus 3. So we have negative 9. Or shall we write it as x equals to negative 9. Okay? So are we clear on that? So after that, we will check. But before we check, I will give you another way to arrive on this part. Because if we go back and multiply your LCD, the reason behind that we identify and multiply your LCD to your rational equation is to simplify it and to eliminate your denominator. So to make it more simple or simplified just like this one. So again, the reason behind why we multiply or first identify, then we multiply the LCD to your original rational equation is for us to eliminate the denominator. And we come up on this form. So the denominator was eliminated, and you can see your equation becomes more simplified and easy to solve. Okay? So to make it more easy on this case of example, which you have one rational expression on the left side and you have one rational expression on the other side, is using your cross multiplication. So some are using cross multiplication, but this is the basic and fundamental step. So for shortcut reason, they are using cross multiplication. So cross multiply, we have this one. So 2 times x minus 3. Okay? So another way again is to cross multiply. We cannot use cross multiplication on our first example. Cross multiplication can only be used when you have one expression on both sides. Okay, that's why before I start this example, I let you remind your first example that we cannot use cross multiplication in our first example. Again, 2 times x minus 3 by cross multiplication. Then we have x plus 1 times 3. So we did not use LCD and multiplying LCD to your original equation. We just cross multiply and we have arrived on this one. Again, 2 times x minus 3, then cross multiply x plus 1 times 3, so we have this one. Okay? So let us do the checking. If x equal to 9 is a solution or not. Okay. So to check, let us copy your original equation, which is 2 over x plus 1 equals to 3 over x minus 3, where x is equal to negative 9. So, to check, copy your original equation, then substitute or input the value of x. So, we have to copy everything, plus 1 minus 3. Then, substitute x as minus 9. When substituting, it is very basic and important to use a parenthesis. Then we have negative 9. Continuing to simplify, so copy your numerator because you don't have any operation. Then simplify your denominator. Negative 9 plus 1. Negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8. Okay? Then negative 9 minus 3 is equal to negative 12. Okay? Simplifying, positive divided by negative is negative. On the other side, we have positive divided by negative is negative. So we will simplify and get the lowest term of the two fractions. Okay. What is the common between 2 and 8? So the common between 2 and 8, of course, is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we have simplified 2 over negative 8 is equal to negative 1/4. So let us try to simplify 3 over negative 3 over negative 12. So positive divided by negative is negative. Then the common between 3 and 12 is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay? Then 12 divided by 3, of course, we have 4. So negative 1/4 equals negative 1/4. So is this true or false? So we can say that negative 1/4 is equal to negative 1/4, and that is true. So therefore, because it is true, x equal to negative 9 is a solution of our rational equation. So I guess that we are clear on this example.